Over 130 years ago, Clement's grandfather Justinian schemed his family to the top of the Byzantine Empire. Clement is now on the verge of realizing his grandfather and his dynasty's dream of restoring the Roman Empire. The Holy Roman Empire was once so strong that the Byzantines struggled to even compete. Now they are fracturing from within, and Clement sees an opportunity. Despite how strong the empire is, Clement's main concern is succession. He has had 9 children throughout his life and has yet to have a single son. Instead of a son, a co-emperor will have to be chosen, and there is no shortage of young male members of House Angelos who have been put into positions of power by Clement. The question is, who among them is correct to become the next emperor? We are back once again, having just reinstated Theodosian borders. The de jure empire itself has now grown a lot. It now contains Syria, Jerusalem, Egypt, as well as Sicily, which is going to be very nice and help us a lot in our conquests. It seems like while I was doing my outro yesterday, Bohemia actually lost that dissolution war. They have now shattered apart, leaving random pieces of themselves throughout the actual Holy Roman Empire, including some of their lands here in Northern Africa. Now, Achaia, of course, already is going to war to try and take some of this land back. We'll probably start by grabbing some of these loose counties and duchies around here just to help clean everything up. And then we'll likely also end up going over for Sardinia here. The Holy Roman Empire does hold the northern part. We'll try grab the southern part, just really surround everything here. Keep moving across the Mediterranean, but what we'll likely do next is actually a holy war, or sorry, not a holy war, but a war for the Kingdom of Sicily. We'll grab Sicily off the HRE and then continue to push up northward through Italy as well. His realm is in such an unusual place though. Over here is also the Kingdom of Sicily. That is going to be interesting. As a side note, I didn't even notice it, but we actually have the Empress herself of the HRE in our prison. No doubt we'll be able to utilize that to our advantage eventually. We're of course still upgrading almost every single holding we have, now that we have the actual keeps upgraded. Really just trying to upgrade everything across the board, and I do think our income should start to skyrocket from there. Innovation-wise, we are about 11 years away from chronicle writing. This will give us the ability to press multiple of our claims in a single war. That would enable us to take quite a bit of land off the HRE in one go. It would likely result in a very disorganized realm, but it would be a way to significantly weaken them in one big war, compared to what we were doing before over here, trying to restore Theodosian borders and go into war empire v empire for a single county. We do have the ability to evangelize the pagans once again. We may as well do this. Where are they going off to this time? Somalia. Interesting choice, but I suppose if we could end up converting some orthodoxy down here, it could end up resulting in Egypt actually continuing to expand fully south down here. May God guide you. Best of luck, my friend. We'll see what comes of that. Other than that, we are desperately hoping that before we die, we can actually have a son. So far, our new wife has given us 3 daughters, but we are in dire need of a son. I'm also going to influence the candidacy of Greater Armenia over here, much in the same way we did previously. We'll get somebody from House Angelos in control over here. Then we will retire this governor. She's actually incapable currently anyway. And then what I'm actually going to do is create the Kingdom of Armenia. Oh, I don't have enough gold yet, but I'm going to create the Kingdom of Armenia over here and give that away just to help sort of our expansions over here as well. We did create Georgia previously. I think with Armenia as well, it should help sort of shore up our border over here. I think it's safe to say that the Arabian/Abbasid Empire is unlikely to come back. We have taken the majority of the lands off them. A few random counties and duchies persist. It'll probably be a race between us and the Persian Empire to pick these up. We'll likely end up bordering the Persian Empire. Very big, and an empire has formed, but it's one of the few times I've been able to look over, see an empire, and the leader is at least not a conqueror. I have enough gold now, so I will make the Kingdom of Armenia and give it to our good friend Strategos Magistos over here. Also, I was told in a super early episode that it's Strategos, not Strategos, but I keep saying it. What's quite nice as well is for a long time we were worried about how the Conqueror trait was persisting in the HRE. That is now officially gone. I didn't even check it before we went to war with them, but nice to see they've now lost that. The actual Emperor himself is currently excommunicated, so just another nail in the coffin of the HRE. But they're by no means dead yet. We can finally pick up Know Thyself, so we will know when we are 1 year away from death by natural causes at the very least. We are at 110 gold a month. We don't have a huge amount in the treasury, so you know the drill. Whenever we need some money, it's time for a chariot race. I think it's fair to say we have been successful in spreading orthodoxy though. We are almost at the northernmost part of the map. It's starting to spread into Scandinavia. It's also starting to spread into the actual HRE itself, and now obviously across the Mediterranean with Ireland as well. After putting a mountain of spare icons, trinkets, and artifacts into our Cabinet of Curiosities, we can finally upgrade it to level 3, Gallery of Marvels. Lots of super nice bonuses here, but the thing I spoke about before that I really like is how Stewardship and Learning will now get +2 per our level of influence. And with the amount of influence that we're getting per month, we're usually always going to be at the highest level. Another daughter. Another daughter. I don't believe this. Is Clement cursed the same way Justinian, his grandfather, was, with just getting nothing but daughters? Now, the Emperor of the HRE is willing to pay us 250 gold to release his wife. I don't think we will yet, however. When we go to war with him again, it'll be very nice already having the Empress in our prison. Possibly after our next war, we'll be willing to release her. Alright, so the chariot race is finished. We also held a quick little triumph as well as holding court. Took care of all our responsibilities back home. It is time now to go to war. Now, it looks like Akia is still working away on Lausitz here. We might actually go for Tunis while they are open. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What am I doing leading armies at 60? No, no, no. We've actually been successful in evangelizing the Somalis. So the leader has converted to Orthodoxy as well as his close family. That's amazing. It's a bad day when you have 500 men and an army of 15,000 Byzantines come after you, but it has to be done. I'm very sorry. Oh, look at this. More people willing to be vassalized. Where is this? Transylvania. Oh, it looks like they may have gotten their independence from Galicia and are now willing to join us. Absolutely. Welcome in. Bihar as well. Where are you? I assume you're just nearby. Yeah, okay, amazing. There we go. Now we're wait a minute, we have land up here now. Oh boy. That's okay. I actually don't really mind that as much. If we ever need to go to war with some of these counties over here, it's actually a great landing point for us. There we go. That's Tunis fully under control. Thank you very much. I'm very keen to create this theme and then give it to the actual king of Africa himself. Otherwise, Aki's going to go and take everything. Now, we're still waiting for the truce with the HRE to be up. So in the meantime, I'm going to immediately declare war, do a naval county expansion, and just start moving in on Sardinia as well. There we go. You don't need to worry about recently disembarked when you outnumber them like 14-1. There we go. Nice and easy. We'll enforce demands here as well. That's another foothold on this island. We'll immediately turn our attention to Tripoli right next to us and grab this as well. Just work on getting what we need to usurp the duchy. Oh, what? We can already usurp the duchy. I think it's because we are ordained. Level 5 legitimacy, so slightly reduced de jure counties needed for creating the title. We only need 1. That's amazing. We'll immediately usurp it and give it to this man here. Just a random Greek Orthodox man who's now in charge of an entire theme. Now, we do have another learning lifestyle perk. I will take Wash Your Hands for now, possibly Iron Constitution, just really maximizing our time until we have a son. Because even if we did have one now, which isn't even looking likely. Is she even pregnant? Okay, she is. Even if we did have one now, we still want to at least live for, like, ideally another 15 years that he's actually somewhat close to being an adult when he takes the throne. Now, my vassals have expanded so much that we can actually create the Kingdom of Arabia. The tricky thing is that the land was actually taken by the King of Egypt. So what I might try and do is create the actual kingdom itself, but then give it to a governor that isn't under Egypt, just to try and reorientate the realm a bit. That's actually hilarious. I was about to say I didn't even bother revoking titles to make sure it was Angelos. This man already is Angelos. We are everywhere. When we're no longer at war, I believe we can actually get Egypt to transfer some of those counties back over to Arabia, which would be quite nice. But we are expanding more over here than I ever thought we would, and it's all down to the vassals. Now, we're going to do one more county expansion over here. That should enable us to pick up the actual Duchy of Sardinia itself, and then that's about as far as we can go in Sardinia for the time being. Rather hilariously, this guy was already losing to a peasant faction, so we're going to put them down for him and then take his lands off him. Another daughter. Another daughter. You've got to be kidding me. The Somalians that we converted want our help in a war of tyranny. Probably not going to get involved in that, my friend. You are still miles outside of the realm itself. So we expand down to here. He is all the way down here. So yeah, we're not really going to invest down there. But best of luck to you. Amazingly, I just received news that House Skleros is once again a powerful family. We stripped this family, well, Justinian and Georgios stripped this family of everything they held dear. They were a noble family at one point with nothing but their estate, and they have risen back up through the ranks. Doesn't really matter though when our family strength is nearing in on 2,000. Alright, there we go. We can now create the Duchy of Sardinia as well and hand this off. There we go. Mission successful. We now control southern Sardinia at the very least. 2 more years on our truce with the Holy Roman Empire. Rather fittingly, it's going to be up in exactly the year 1000. But then, all of Sicily will be ours. I'm going to retract some of these vassals from Egypt to give them to Arabia instead. He will accept, so that should be fine. Now, Achaia is losing pretty heavily in this war for Lausitz over here. They've weakened them, though. We're going to just sweep in. We will seize it for ourselves and hand it off to its rightful ruler of the Kingdom of Africa. Talk about an ally. This isn't even Lausitz itself, but the King of Greater Moravia, who's their ally, has come all the way down here to defend their lands. Doesn't mean much to us, though. That's another 100% in force demands. Now, the Mediterranean coastline is starting to look a lot more cohesive, a lot less border war going on. What I do want to do over here is actually try and convert this realm, for example, over to admin. And then I'm going to influence the candidacy. I'm going to have Daniel Angelos here, gets a just 18 influence to put him next in line. I'm then going to retire that governor, get Daniel in control, and then I'm going to grant him the appointment of the Despotate of Pannonia. Reason being, there's still lots of individual counties and duchies over here that could probably be taken easily by a larger force. My goal in giving him this kingdom is he may go and actually pick up some of this land for us. I think Croatia is another good candidate to actually have a kingdom in as well. Lower Bosnia here, already a man from House Angelos. Congratulations, my friend. It is your lucky day. There you go. There's Croatia. Here's a fantastic example of why these kingdoms are so helpful. The recently conquered land here is rising up in a war of tyranny. But because we've made sure that he is nice and powerful, the actual king of Africa will be able to deal with this no problem. Now, I'm also going to start up a legend here. I think I might do Defender of the Orthodox Holy Site, mainly for the Evangelize the Realm decision. I think that will be very useful when we actually take Sicily, just to deal with any factions there, immediately make it all Orthodox and be good to go. We can also more than afford to promote a legend currently. Now, I am going to take Iron Constitution to live a little bit longer. Still hold on to the dream of a son. It's probably not going to happen, but even still, we are playing as a fantastic character currently. Also, these are press claims, so my player heir, who is Strategos Daniel, will inherit them. But the problem, though, is that if it doesn't end up being my son that actually takes control next, we may lose these claims. So I want to press at least one of them as soon as. Might seem crazy, given how much money we have, but I think I will rotate into wealth focus for the time being. I've just been spending so much money upgrading everything. I want to get a big treasury behind us again. Outside of gold, though, we are smashing it in every single other department when it comes to income. Also, there was a lot of talk before around how maybe Daniel was the better heir than Clement. Ultimately, we were forced to go with Clement, but I'm kind of glad we did. Daniel is already infirm, ended up being a murderer, and he is still an adulterer. Otherwise, though, still great traits. I will mentor in governance some of the men I've given kingdoms to as well, just to help them out a little bit. There is a new ruler of the HRE, Empress Sarrazine. Nice to meet you, Empress Sarrazine. I have bad news for you. We will immediately be coming to take all of Sicily away from you. Let's launch this war. The HRE only has 6,000 troops, so we should be absolutely fine. Will be a bit annoying as they could end up showing up kind of anywhere with the amount of places that we border them, but they're also distracted by a war with Venice as well. Oh, we've actually found the army gathering above us. We are currently carpet sieging them. I think I can just send literally 1/3 of my army up to meet these and it should be fine. I just had another daughter. This is getting crazy. 9 children, all of them daughters, and I'm now in poor health. As soon as we get the notification that we're going to be dead within a year, we're going to immediately pick a co-emperor just somewhere in House Angelos. Now, that's the battle with the HRE won. While they go off and retreat, we're going to keep sieging down the war target, but things are looking good for us. We have another Dynasty Legacy available to us. This will actually be our 10th. We're going to take Righteousness here, finish the Glory Tree. This gives +10 General Opinion and +1 max number of sway schemes. HRE was coming back to take the 7A2. I left the siege, but I've sent my army up to follow them and they're running away again. There we go. Enemy combatants captured. Oh my god, we captured the Empress herself. Amazing. Let's enforce our demands. Bari reconquered. A glorious day for Romans. Long contested province restored. Syracusa also reconquered. Mediterranean gem restored. There are some dukes here that are both Catholic and French. My plan, as normal, is to use my influence and gold to make them become admin, and then use the admin government to immediately remove them from power. Now, we have an Orthodox Greek here who's also Angelos. I wonder how that happened. What we're going to do is likely give him the actual kingdom of Sicily. The despotate of Sicily, I should say. And then we're going to give him the directive to convert the faith, and we'll let him deal with all of this for us. Meanwhile, I've just received word that we can create the Duchy of Mecca. How far are my vassals expanding? Look at this. Look at the size of the Byzantine Empire now. Completely controlled by House Angelos, and started by just one man who was a count in the middle of Achaia. It's now time to take the last remaining holy site for Orthodoxy. Stewardship and +10 development growth, as well as the actual city of Rome itself. To do that, we're going to have to declare war on the papacy, which the Catholics are probably not going to like, but we're going to just actually do it with our own claims rather than a holy war or anything, and this should be fine. Not too long ago, my men were sieging down the barony that held the pyramids. Now we are sieging down the barony of Rome itself, and who better to lead it than Clement himself. Another battle with the papal army here is going to be taken care of, and we're almost finished sieging down Rome. Uh-oh, bloody flux. We got reduced disease symptoms at least, but we are still apparently at death's doorstep. It could be time to pick a co-emperor. I can't elevate a co-emperor while I'm at war or have a contagious and deadly disease. Oh boy. We could end up having a short stint as Daniel here at 63 years of age. Come on, let me take Rome before I die. Let Clement see it happen. Oh, we've gained the trait infirm as well. Okay, we're really going to die at any moment here. Okay, amazing. My wife lost the trait. Hopefully I can as well, but I doubt it. But at least he lives to see it. We have just taken the papacy. Roma reconquered, the immortal city, first capital and birthplace of our empire. A truly glorious day for all Romans, and we have restored another pentarchy seat. So the Pope is still going to be our vassal. We can't actually revoke the land yet, as we have a truce with him. This will have to time out, but at the very least, Rome is now in control of the Byzantine Empire. Looks like the HRE has finally reached its breaking point as well. Italy itself are now in war against the HRE for independence, as well as Brittany. Now, the good news is that the Pope is actually in a faction against us. I don't really mind that, to be honest. I would happily just put that down and arrest him, take the land ourselves, but let's see how it plays out. Oh my god, we actually recovered. We lost the trait. This is amazing. And the sad part is I've actually run out of Angelos men who are above the age of 16, but there's still some of them on the way. I'm going to give it a few years, and there'll be even more duchies for them to actually just take control of. Now, the youngest person I can currently grant co-emperor status to is Chrysanthos here. This is Daniel's son. He is patient, compassionate, calm, thrifty clerk, eager reveler, hunter, military engineer, strategos, drunkard, and a traveler. Not bad though, not bad. He could be an option. Something else I don't want to forget about is reinstating the grain dole. To do this, we have to build granaries in Egypt. Now, the thing is, granaries is a level 5 upgrade, and we actually need the guilds innovation in order to build it, as well as getting to concentric castle. So we're still quite a few innovations away from this, but once that becomes available, we will then be building these all over Egypt. For every one that we build in Egypt, we get an increase to our development growth, popular opinion, and plague resistance in the capital, but we're not ready for this just yet. Now, it would be amazing if some of the counties and kingdoms looking for independence from the HRE actually got it, because it would mean that we could really ramp up our war efforts, as rather than waiting for the actual peace to cool down with the HRE, it would be with the other realms instead. Especially if Italy breaks free, that would be amazing, and we can just immediately go to war and take the rest of it. If we look at restoring the Roman Empire now, there is only 4 themes remaining that we need to control to take this decision. We need to completely control the Duchy of Croatia, Genoa, Romagna, and Venice. And that is all we need to complete our mission and restore the Roman Empire. We are so close now. There's also another major decision that's become available to us. Secure the Mediterranean. We definitely want to do this. We'll gain Masters of the Mediterranean. It will found a brand new kingdom. And we just need to control 3 more actual areas. Corsica, we're on the way. Sardinia, we're on the way. And Maruqua over here, which I think is off the coast of Spain. Basically, if we control all of the islands within the Mediterranean, we can then secure it, which we definitely want to do because that will give us claims on every county that borders the Mediterranean, which is a lot of the land we need to restore the Roman Empire. For some reason, the HRE have moved their capital to Barcelona as well. We can also now increase the quality of our legend to mythical. We need to wait 10 months to finish it. Then I will likely evangelize the realm, which will help us get all of Italy over to Orthodox, as well as some other counties here and there that we haven't fully converted yet. Oh, I just realized actually, Russia turned Catholic. That is very interesting. Now, it doesn't matter an insane amount. Most of what they used to hold over here is still Orthodox. We've managed to get some vassals out of it as well. If I can somewhat connect my realm up here, that would be tremendous. Create a wall between Russia and the HRE. But maybe I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself there. There's lots that I want to do, but we can't lose focus of our goal to restore the empire either. So I've also gone through some of the vassals, reworked some of their directives and whatnot, and anybody who wasn't Greek, I ended up putting Angelos in control, which has now put our family power closer to 3,000. We have a new emperor of the HRE, Kaiser Jurgen here. It looks like that may have actually invalidated some of the independence wars. Of course, Akia is already attacking them, but we are going to attack him now for our other claim on the Kingdom of Italy, which is not only all of this in Italy, but also some random bits of land up here also. We've also finally discovered chronicle writing. That should help a lot with future wars to grab a bunch of what we need at the same time. Next, I'm going to grab a royal prerogative so we can actually start to change some of our laws over here, for example. We're still at level 2 imperial bureaucracy. To get to level 3, we need royal prerogative. We may or may not want to do this, but either way, I'd like the option. Meanwhile, the siege of Italy is going fantastically. We are carpet sieging them down. Still no sign of their army, but they could show up anywhere, to be honest. I have to try, and in the sea of notifications that I get with the size of the realm now, try and see whenever something comes up here saying that we're being sieged. Now, we're at 81% with our war against the HRE, still no sign of their army. It looks like they are busy in a northerner conquest for the Duchy of Normandy, but I have yet to see any of their troops, to be honest. Someone else wants me to become a witch. We learned our lesson. Never again. Actually, the world will know of your sin. I'm letting everybody know you're a witch. I wouldn't want any witches in the Byzantine Empire. There we go. No battles, no nothing. Just prisoners and sieging them down. And that is the Kingdom of Italy under our control. Lombardia reconquered. And another victory for the Byzantine Empire. Let's disband all here. Now we are really taking shape. The Despotate of Italy will once again go to a member of House Angelos that we've snuck into control of the theme. There we go. It is now time to complete our legend, the defender of the Orthodox holy site, the miracles of Basilius Clement. And I'm then going to evangelize the realm so we get orthodoxy spread even further in our new territories. And we may as well reassert the whole... Actually, we haven't even gone on a holy war yet. I'm going to save this. We will clear ground from their legendary shrine. I think we have another barony that can hold it. Yeah, we can. All right, perfect. There we go. Clear the grounds. Amazing. Also, just a small side note that we managed to pick up Excalibur somewhere. As well as the skull cap of Charlemagne, which now sits proudly in our court. What an episode this has been. The size of us now is actually ridiculous. We are super close to our final goal of restoring the Roman Empire. All we need now is Venice, Romagna, and Croatia. And then everything that's currently purple and the Byzantine will become red and Roman. The big question we have not answered, though, is who's actually going to succeed us. As it's currently set up, our brother Daniel, who's also infirm and only 3 years younger than us, would currently inherit everything. We have yet to name a co-emperor. It may end up still being Chrysanthos here. He is 38, which is not great, but a good choice, younger than our brother, could be an option. But that is a question for the next episode. Thank you all so much for watching. We are very close to restoring Rome now. A massive shout out to all of our channel members for supporting the channel, and a special shout out to our Emperor's Hands, Faustbread, and Spencer Roberts. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next video.